Usually when people keep mementos of stuff it is to remember the good times, but my husband has kept a memento of every time we got freaky in the sheets, and rated it, ever since we were in high school. I, 26F, honestly don't know how the hell I'm supposed to talk about this. I genuinely am in disbelief. So backstory: my husband, 27M, let's call him Lee, and I have been together since our sophomore year in high school. We were each other's first everythings, and for the most part I feel like we honestly have a picturesque marriage. I'm currently 5 months pregnant with our first child, and have taken it upon myself to DIY the guest bedroom into a nursery, but to do that I wanted to sort through the stuff in there and get rid of anything unnecessary. I think it's relevant to say that I'm pretty short, 5'2", so I don't really store things up high since I can't reach, but my husband's a foot taller than me so he doesn't have this tendency. Which is how I found the memento box on the top shelf. It was just a plain cardboard box, so I didn't think much of it at first, but since I didn't remember putting it up there I wanted to see if it was something that needed to go into storage or if it was just junk. I don't know what I was expecting, but inside the box there was a photo album, a trash bag, and a black leather bag. The album just had my name plus Lee's written on the cover, so I thought it'd be something sweet because Lee has a tendency to give me sentimental things, but no. The album was full of undressed pictures of myself, all of them marked with dates and a short journal-like entry. The first one was from our first time from when we were teens, and the latest one was marked from the night I surprised him with my pregnancy announcement. Most of the pictures are poor quality, but some are clearly of me sleeping after the deed. These journal entries talk about how he ranks each experience and his favorite part of it like some weird logbook. Inside the bags were some of my lingerie and even some old razors and hairbrushes. I don't know why on earth he keeps them, but he has 2 bags full. I don't know how or what to do. I mean, is this normal behavior? Is this some twisted form of romance on his part? A part of me feels like I shouldn't feel as disgusted as I am, but this violates my own boundaries since I explicitly told him in the past that I was against sending or giving him any nude photos. What do I do? I love my husband, but I'm not sure how to confront him about this. Update 1. So I'm not sure if anyone cares, and while I didn't reply to any of the comments, I did end up talking with my husband about this just a few days ago. I'm not going to lie, I wanted to just act like I didn't see anything and go on with my happy life, but after giving birth to my baby girl about a month and a half ago, I guess the stress and everything added up and I let it slip in an argument. I don't remember all that was said, but I was exhausted and my husband, while he's been super helpful and took over the household chores for me and helps out with baby girl, had just been getting on my nerves. I sort of exploded on him in a way I'm not proud of. Worst of all, he wasn't even doing anything. All he had been doing was reminiscing about how I used to make a Sims family of us when I was in uni, and how creepy it was. He said it endearingly. I don't really know why I got so mad, but I basically said something along the lines of how he's a creepy one because he has a secret stash of stuff hidden from me. I felt really bad because he got all pale and went quiet, and then he sort of said he needed space and went to blow off some steam at the shooting range, which he does a lot when he needs to think, so I didn't question it. He came back home around dinner and said he was ready to talk. I asked him about all of the things I found, especially the photos. I reminded him again that I never agreed to making pics of any sort, and he apologized and agreed to burn them. Apparently our history goes back further than even I knew, as he recounted that we actually met before high school. I had no idea, but his mom, who's a divorce attorney, was the very same one my mom used when she separated from her first husband, not my dad. I called my mom after to confirm, and she told me it was true, but her and my mill never told me because my mom's divorce was messy and she hates talking about it. Anyways, back to the first meeting thing. My mill, at the time, often had Lee hang out around her office after school, and it was during one of these days that my mom had to take me with her to speak with Mill in person. Lee was actually the boy that I played with in the waiting room? I can't believe he remembered that, because I totally forgot it. So according to him that first meeting was the day he knew I was special. Lee told me that while he had tried to pass it off as a crush, as he got older it never really went away, which led him to look into his mom's case files. In my state, attorneys have to keep them for 7 years, and he found my mom on Facebook, then my dad in her friends list, and managed to find my first and last name in order to find my Instagram. He had convinced his parents to let him transfer from his private K-12 school to my public high school, using the excuse that they had a better athletics program, which isn't actually far-fetched since my high school was one of the best in the state for that, once he found out where I was going, thanks to my dumb self putting it in my bio. I thought that us meeting was a sheer coincidence, and that we fell in love naturally, a classic sort of high school sweethearts. But no. Lee had orchestrated it all. I took my daughter with me to stay with my mom and stepdad, while Lee agreed to stay home and let me think. I spoke to my mom, as well as Mill and Phil. Lee's parents are not happy with him in all honesty, and Mill is especially mad because of client confidentiality. My mom gave me some good advice, that being that I should reflect on if Lee had displayed any other red flag behaviors. I can honestly say that no, he hadn't, but since I know I'm biased, I asked my friends and those close to me if they noticed anything. So far, everything else about Lee seems to check out. I've never felt endangered by him, even when I told him I needed some distance for a few days. I want to make this marriage work, but is this something that therapy can fix? Update 2. Lee and I have since been going to couples counseling, and he's going to individual therapy. After the whole drama that happened a few months ago, he sort of had a come to Christ moment where he realized that the way he had been obsessing over the idea of me wasn't the same as a healthy love. We spent a few weeks apart so he could work on himself, and he turned over his device's passwords and accounts to me so that I could go through and calm my worries because I was really anxious about the explicit photos. Since then though, we're back in our house and with our baby girl, and our marriage is back on track and better for it.